Hi, Sharon Raji Maynard here. As you know, there is a growing world of podcasting. There are podcasting on an increasing variety of subjects and ideas, each with unique value. When I joined the podcasting community a little under a year ago, I decided to do what I usually do in my life, begin where I am with what I have, and let the growth happen organically. That continues to be my mantra, a little like the Nike branding of just do it. I continue to use a corner of my art studio / office as my podcasting booth, and I am the one and only employee. I haven't decided to add music or look for advertisers. There is still much I want to share from years of working with information in unseen through the methods known to mystics. And I absolutely trust what has been hidden will inspire and transform you and the world in which we find ourselves. I would appreciate a rating from you or comments or questions. That all helps because it's part of the organic growth for podcasts. We are really in this together. So thanks for being there. In our world, we are being presented with many problems. Albert Einstein gave great advice in this matter when he said, "Problems cannot be solved at the level of knowledge or awareness that created them. We have to get outside our boxes." And a mystic sees beyond the box to what has been hidden or forgotten. It was curiosity that took me on a radical search for answers. And those answers came from ancient ones in spiritual worlds. Their knowledge is the foundation of this podcast, A Mystic's View. Come as you are. See situations through my eyes. Realize that diversity is a natural human condition and inspires and expands our capacities. Curiosity can take us to answers. So thanks for coming along. Episode number 12, The Rising Women's Movement. Does it hurt men? What happens when you take measures to solve a problem using an incorrect premise? Or what happens when you work to resolve balance, but you're using an incorrect blueprint? I received an email from a woman I respect who shared a blog post addressing the concern that the female movement for inclusion and equality has hurt men. I saw that as an answer to those questions. The answer is you arrive at greater imbalance and continuing problems. If you begin with the premise that red and yellow will create green, you will be confused at the outcome. You would wonder why, no matter what proportions you use, your result is not green. What is wrong with you? Life is like a research project. A scientist takes a premise, red and yellow equal green, and goes into the laboratory to test the concept. After many tries, she concludes that the premise is faulty. No harm done, no blame of another, and no sense of inadequacy. The premise is incorrect. When I was faced with the idea that my financial lack could be changed by my thoughts, I was puzzled. Having been raised in a religious community, which I was assured in that community, that Heavenly Father gave me a life plan, my only responsibility was to live it with obedience. So how could I affect that plan? The idea was foreign, even blasphemous. If I was suffering, my job was to suffer well, be nice, smile. I would be rewarded in heaven. But in my case, curiosity won out. I became a scientist. I took the premise that I had choice. I learned about affirmations, I applied them, and I watched the results. Well, my financial picture changed. Correct premise. So if women's process and progress is negatively impacting men, there is something wrong with the beginning premise, whatever we started with. In my view, We have not gone far enough upstream and around the twists and turns to discover the accurate premise. We have lost track of the greater picture of Earth mission and gender purpose. We are working from a blueprint already crippled and misshapen, from a concept assumed after generations of torture, abuse, survival, and entrapment. We are looking with vision created by ancestors who lived in a matrix of imposed lies. Ask yourself, why have women been targeted? Why have women been diminished as too weak or emotional to be leaders? Why do we attribute aggression and domination to men? Why are women assigned the time-intensive task of keeping home and children? Why are women's sensitivities demeaned? Why do the values of greed, usury, domination foundation so many cultures and social structures? What has caused women to live subservient lives and be Stepford wives? Why do women seek out macho men, even those who are dominating? And why are men a greater portion of serial killers, domestic violence perpetrators, rapists, sociopaths, and psychopaths? Why do women demean other women and favor male company? The tangled web of gender inequality is far deeper than an imbalance in pay or the percentage of women in corporate positions. It is a web that has been intentionally created to cripple souls, those both in female and in male bodysuits. Until you really grasp the depth, you are only twisting the wind, living in the web matrix, and you will arrive in continued entrapment. Red and yellow will never get you to green, just as men have caused women's devalued situations will never get you to respectful gender balance. It is important to draw attention to the problematic outcome, however, because by this outcome, you know that something is wrong upstream. There is immense pollution of false concepts upstream that have been hidden and hiding the truth. Are you ready to consider a broader possibility? If so, consider watching the videos on my channel, Galactic History. Certainly I'll be addressing many more of them through this podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'd love to hear from you.